Signs that she likes you, how to know if she likes me, woman in love signs, signs of female interest, she is interested, how to know if a woman likes you, signs of female attraction, female psychology, hidden signs of interest, she likes me, female body language, signs that she is in love, how to conquer a woman, subconscious female attraction, she feels something for me. Conquest tips, understanding women, silent signs of interest, female behavior. When a woman is interested, have you ever felt like a woman might be interested, but acted like she didn't care, like she was afraid to show it? Maybe you're ignoring clear and silent signs that she likes you, and today we're going to decipher each one of them. Get ready. After watching this video, you'll never look at that shy smile, that casual hi, or that unexpected disappearance the same way again. Sign number 1. She makes eye contact and quickly looks away. You walk into the room as if you weren't expecting anything. It's just another ordinary day, maybe a random coffee shop in the city center, or a classroom at the university, or even that casual meeting with friends. She's there, in the background, disguised among smiles, conversations, and background noises. Maybe fiddling with her cell phone, or pretending she's completely oblivious to your presence. But then it happens. For a brief moment, her eyes search and find you. It's quick, almost imperceptible. One more second, and you might not even notice. But if you pay attention, really pay attention, you'll feel that something there wasn't just casual, because in that look there's something that words can't say, a disguised fright, a repressed desire. It's as if her heart had gone ahead and her eyes couldn't hide it. But the most curious thing is that in the next second she turns her head away. She pretends to be interested in the menu, or starts a conversation out of nowhere. Laughs at something someone said, even if she didn't really hear it. It's as if she was saying, I saw you, but you can't know that. She's trying to protect herself from what she feels, from what she might not even understand. Maybe she's afraid to show herself vulnerable, or maybe she thinks you'd never notice, even if she drew it. What about you? Do you also pretend you didn't see? Because sometimes a look that lasts less than a second reveals an entire universe that she doesn't have the courage to say out loud. Sign number 2. She laughs more than necessary around you. You say something random. It wasn't even that good of a joke, maybe just an ironic comment or a silly pun in the middle of a conversation. And she laughs. Not that social, polite, mechanical laugh. She really laughs. Loud, spontaneous, almost exaggerated. You notice her eyes light up for a moment. She tosses her hair to the side. She lightly touches her face. And she keeps laughing even after everyone else has stopped. It's like you've just told the funniest stand-up comedy of the year. But deep down, it's not about the joke. It's about the person who told it. Because when a woman is interested, laughter becomes more than a reaction. It becomes a code, a signal, a way of saying, I like your presence. I like the way you talk. I like how you make me feel. And sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it. It's the body that gives it away before the mind processes it. Maybe she even laughs at your English mistakes, or the way you tell stories that are too long, or that habit you have of imitating random voices, and if you pay attention, you'll notice that she doesn't laugh like that with just anyone. With others, she's polite, cordial. With you, she overflows. Because laughter, when it comes too easily, is almost always a reflection of something deeper, an emotional connection trying to escape through the simplest gestures. The question is, have you noticed how much she laughs around you, or do you still think it's just a coincidence? Sign number 3. She gets nervous around you. She's confident. She talks to everyone. She posts stories looking straight into the camera, responds to messages confidently, always seems in control. But when you show up, something changes. She stumbles over her words. She starts talking and corrects herself mid-sentence. She runs her hand through her hair every 30 seconds. She forgets what she was going to say. She drops her glass. She laughs without knowing why. It's as if her brain, which was working so well seconds ago, is short-circuiting, and it's not because she has something against you. It's just the opposite. She tries to seem natural, but she can't. She tries to act as if you were just another person in the room, but inside, it's chaos. Because when a woman feels something, even if she doesn't want to show it, her body ends up speaking for her. Her hands are restless, her legs are shaking, the eyes that avoid you but can't ignore you. Maybe she changes the tone of her voice around you. She becomes sweeter or more serious. Maybe she even tries to seem disinterested, but her nervousness gives her away. It's that tension in the air that no one sees, but you feel. And if you pay attention, you'll realize that this nervousness doesn't happen to anyone else there, only to you. Because you're not just someone common in her scene. You're the point of imbalance, the threat to the mask she tries to keep intact, and sometimes all she wants is for you not to notice. But now that you know, are you going to keep pretending not to see? Sign number 4. She accidentally shows up where you are. You lightly mention that you're going to an event. Nothing major, just a random phrase in the conversation. I'm going to Central Park tomorrow. Or, there's a cool show in the East Village on Saturday. 2 days later, there she is, on the same street, at the same bar, at the same cafe where you usually go. And when you bump into each other, she says, "Oh, what a coincidence to see you here," with that half-surprised smile, a little too rehearsed. Coincidence? Maybe. But after the 3rd or 4th time, it starts to seem like a choreography. She's not chasing you. It's not about obsession. It's about opportunity, about proximity. Because when a woman likes you, but tries not to show it, she creates situations in which fate can do her dirty work for her. She puts herself in the same places, in the same conversation circles. She appears out of nowhere, as if she had been led by chance. But chance, in this case, has a name, an address, and she usually answers to yours. Maybe she looked at your stories, saw that you tagged the place. Maybe she listened attentively when you talked about your routine. Maybe she even accidentally asked you what you were doing this weekend. And then she showed up, ready to pretend to be surprised, even though she spent half an hour choosing the right outfit. Because sometimes the people who like us don't create encounters. They create possibilities for them to happen, and hope that life will do its part. What about you? Do you still think that it's just the universe playing with coincidences? Sign number 5. She remembers details you didn't even notice. You say something random, in the middle of a conversation, with no intention of marking anyone with it. Maybe you comment, "I like old movies, like Casablanca." Or say, "My favorite sandwich is with peanut butter and banana, just like Elvis's." And weeks later, she surprises you. She shows up with a keychain with a quote from the movie on it, or sends you a meme about Elvis Presley, or mentions that silly thing you barely remember saying. And then you realize she remembers everything. Not just what you said, but the way you said it, the tone of your voice, your smile, the expression on your face. She carries these small memories as if they were big ones, as if each fragment of conversation were part of a puzzle she's putting together, in silence. Because when a woman is interested, but tries to hide it, she doesn't show it with grand gestures. She shows it with attention, with presence, with the almost invisible way of keeping pieces of you. Maybe you don't even remember the name of the dog you had as a child, but she remembers. Maybe you only mentioned once about that trip you always wanted to take. But she looked up tickets days later, just out of curiosity, and this doesn't happen by chance. Those who truly love you listen with their heart and transform small words into big meanings. The question is, how many times has she shown you that she cares, and you thought it was just sympathy? Sign number 6, she disappears. and reappears. Everything seemed fine. You were exchanging messages, talking about nonsense, laughing at memes, creating a light connection. And suddenly, she disappears. You look at your phone. Nothing. No notifications, no response, no "Hi, I've been missing you." Days go by and you start to think, did I say something wrong? Did she lose interest? But then, as if by magic, she reappears. With some excuse. "Sorry I disappeared, I was in a hurry here. I was offline these days, but I remembered you when I saw this." And she sends a photo, an audio message, a random video, just to get back on track. But why would someone who doesn't feel anything need to explain their silence? Because someone who disappears like that and comes back isn't playing games. They're struggling with their own feelings. They try to distance themselves, try to protect themselves. But the thought of you insists. It disturbs them, it comes back, and then she comes back too. The truth is that sometimes disappearing is fear disguised as distance, and coming back is the silent confession that she tried to run away, but couldn't. Sign number 7. She talks about you to others, but never directly to you. You're with a mutual friend, a casual conversation, nothing special, until out of nowhere he says, "Oh, she mentioned you the other day." You stop. What? And then something vague comes out. "She said you're different, funny, that you have a unique way." But when you're face to face, she never says that. In front of you, she's ironic, slightly distant. She pretends she didn't even notice you, but behind your back, she talks, and talks a lot. It's as if she needs to vent about what she feels, but can't do it directly. So she spreads pieces of you around, in conversations with friends, in random comments, in outbursts that always reach you through other mouths, because those who try to hide what they feel sometimes scream through other means. And the name she avoids saying in front of you is the one that resonates the most inside her. Sign number 8. She pays attention to the invisible details. Your shirt is slightly wrinkled, a button out of place, a strand of hair falling in your face, and before you know it, she fixes it, without thinking, without asking permission. A quick touch, a subtle gesture, and she goes back to acting normally, but it stays. Or maybe you say, "I'm a little tired today," and she answers days later, "Did you sleep better today?" She notices what no one else notices, your pauses, your silences, the tone of your breathing. She notices when your smile is real and when it's just a disguise, and even when she pretends not to be paying attention, she is, more than you imagine, because when someone likes you, they don't just observe with their eyes, they observe with their heart. Sign number 9. She provokes you, just to see your reaction. You make a comment and she responds with irony. She calls you silly, stuck up, halfway between cute and insufferable. She laughs. She messes with you. She creates a game of provocations that only exists between the two of you. But if you change your tone, she changes too. She gets serious. She asks if she crossed the line, if she bothered you. Because provocation is not contempt. It is an invitation. It is a disguised dance between interest and fear of seeming obvious. She wants to throw you off balance. She wants to see if you notice, if you react, if you join in the fun, or if you leave. Because someone who provokes intelligently is saying, "I am here, I am close, but only if you want to see." Sign number 10. She listens to you, even when you don't speak. You arrive a little quiet, you're having a bad day, or you have something on your mind, and without saying a word, she notices. Is everything okay? You're a little different today. Even if you smile, even if you say everything's fine, she knows that's not the case. Because silence also speaks, and she's learned to listen to yours. She notices it in the way you hold your glass, in your posture, in your somewhat lost look. And without making a fuss, she gets closer. Maybe she touches your arm. Maybe she stays silent with you. But she's there, present, connected, because when a woman feels something real, she doesn't need words. She reads what no one sees and responds with what no one expects. Real presence.